Unleash the Unleash the Kraken. There we go. This is good for my sitting down time. It's quite cold right now, but I'm going to soldier on. I like being outside. Inside it seems too cramped and too claustrophobic. I get claustrophobic inside, so also a bit quieter out here. Out here in front of the small forest behind me. There we go. Now we're ready. Something to show and tell today. Might as well get it out of the way. It's one of my mini knuckle dusters. It looks like a deer rifle bullet. And it has, it's a knuckle duster. And it has a little folding knife on it for cutting boxes, I guess. It's a little bitty knife. I want to put a razor's edge on it. I have a way to do it. That'd be nice to put a razor's edge on this, so I can open it up and cut boxes and whatever small thing. It looks kind of cool. It's got a bullet on it. It's got little bullets, and it's a nice little brass knuckles when you really want to get your point across. Looks like it's made of pure brass. It's like one of my many wonderful toys. So today I guess I'll wait for some chatters. I'm a little early today because it's 2 o'clock here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 7 o'clock in the UK. Possibly 8 o'clock in the Netherlands. And where else was there? It was the Denmark. Denmark was another place that was checking in with me. A few people from Denmark, a few people from the Netherlands, a few people from Canada. Canada is in the same time zone as I am. Parts of Canada. The eastern parts of Canada. So I'm kind of enjoying this. It's another sunny day. No clouds at all. I've been learning about black cats, the meaning or the symbolism of black cats. In some parts of the world, they bring good fortune. They're a sign that money is coming. Also, ladybugs. I had a ladybug land on me, I think it was yesterday, or the day before. I think it was yesterday. A ladybug landed on me. And a few days before that, a ladybug had landed. So I'm getting some signs that maybe good fortune is on its way. I'm already starting to get noticed in the YouTube platform. Right now I'm just focusing on YouTube. I'm not going to go into any other. So right now, if you want to see me, you're going to have to come to YouTube. You're going to have to see this this live stream. And again, you can watch it whenever, you know. If you happen to miss it, you can watch it. Just go into the archives, get the one you missed, and also ones before. And I guess Shaggy's going on a trip. So anyway, it is the 19th of December, and I have another warm hat on. Yesterday I had my big furry hat. So right now we're just waiting for people to chat with. Do a little Q&A. Do a little talking about what we like. We talk about what we like. We talk about what is fun to talk about. I call this right now Eddie's Fun House, because this is like Eddie's Fun House. I got to dig out my patch. I have a patch that's for Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. And it's a security patch. I'm thinking of a way that I can iron it on. It's hard to iron it onto a thick jacket. It'd be kind of nice to put it on my shoulder. See if I can put it on my shoulder here, because it's a security patch. I think it'd look kind of cool. Attract attention. People who are fans of Five Nights at Freddy's. I hope you like the new. I made some new shorts just today. I try to do at least 3 new shorts. The last few I've done were dad jokes. So you might want to check in on the dad jokes. Last night, I did a short of my dog. It's 2 o'clock. She's a little early today, it looks like. I pass her by. And the dog barks at her. So I guess today we could start with the fart gun. Brought to you in high definition. Newly remastered. Surround sound. Deluxe. Deluxe fart noises. So usually it takes a little while before people start noticing that I am live. I've tried to do early warnings. I think people will need to probably put in the comments when they are available. Because yesterday I was chatting with some people, but it was over in the Netherlands, over in the UK, and they're like 5 hours ahead. So I'm here at 4 o'clock, and it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 9 o'clock, or sometimes even 11 o'clock. So I thought I would reverse time a little bit by starting early. Right now it's 2 o'clock, 1400 here in the U.S., in Georgia. So it's a little after 2 o'clock in parts of Canada. Those are my usual chatters. That's why I'm starting a little early today. I feel like I have less on my plate. My car insurance, I had to do some adjustments to make it so it's a little less each month, so I can stay legal, so I can float on by or screech by. I think that's world, the story, the world story now is how how little can we get away with, how little can we get by on, which is kind of rough. They say the 80s was a booming time. You know, the economy was booming during the 80s. Also during the Clinton administration, we had an overage. So now I guess countries, I think what they need is just debt forgiveness. That's what will really stop countries from going under. I think just a few years ago, England had paid back all their debts for the First World War. Something to that effect. Then I was remembering Diogenes. He was the Greek philosopher that Alexander the Great admired. Diogenes was all about getting by instead of having, material gain, wealth and riches, just live your life. I think we can all learn from Diogenes right now, learn his philosophy. Aristotle was the one who tutored Alexander the Great, and Diogenes was the one who Alexander admired. Alexander came up to him and said, "I'll give you anything you want." And Diogenes said, "Get out of my sunlight. Get out of, you're blocking the sun." Because I guess he just wanted to be in the sun. Wouldn't it be nice if we were all that simple, if we approached life in that way? Just get out of my sunlight. Kind of like that king. "I will give thee unto half of my kingdom," because she did a dance for him. I think it was King Herod. But it's amazing how sometimes you're just offered so much. And it's like, is it worth it all? Sometimes just basic life. Trying to point to the door. I don't know if Mom notices she's left the door open. "Mom, you got to close the door." She left the door open. It's cold today. She's letting out all that beautiful heat. The electric heat. Electric heat seems to be a lot more expensive. A lot more expensive than gas heat. "Mom, close the door. It's cold." She's got her Eskimo jacket on, or she has a coat that has a big furry rim around the hood. Reminds me of an Eskimo. They say the pendulum swings the other way. When things are really bad, the pendulum swings the other way. So we might see some of that this year, the pendulum swinging the other way. That's one of the Hermetic principles. Is the first is the all is mind. The all is mind. The universe is mental. The second one is as above, so below. As below, so above. I think the third one is vibration. Everything moves, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. And then one of them is polarity. I think that describes the pendulum swinging the other way, polarity. You have hot and cold, love and hate, good and evil. They're just duality. Feminine, masculine, everything is a duality. No truths are absolute. All truths are half truths. That's what Hermes Trismegistus says. Yeah, all truths are half truths. Nothing is absolute. I've been learning a lot about that for over the past few years. The Hermetic principles. I wish I was taught the Hermetic principles when I was young. You know, fourth grade, fifth grade. Like, especially the all is mind. The all is mind. The universe is mental. You know, everything that's in the universe is the result of a thought, whether it's spiritual, whether it's emotional, physical. Like this skewer. Somebody thought of this skewer, thought of how to make it, you know, and then thought of how to roast a marshmallow, everything. And they say to, you know, your mind garden, what's growing in your mind garden. The mind garden is very fertile, very, very fertile or fertile. So anything will grow in the mind garden. It's a matter of what's growing in your mind garden. Because sometimes you got to do a lot of weeding. You have to do much weeding and much pruning in the mind garden. All the things that are no longer serving you, all the things that are weighing you down, all the things that are limiting you. A lot of times it's the limiting thoughts that are messing with us. We have limiting thoughts, things that bring on limits. Sometimes we have to test those limits. The more we test those limits, the more we can come up with new ideas and new ways of approaching things. Think of not the problem, but the solution. Oh, 2 likes, cool. Like and like, and the like. And again, like, never give up hope. The thing, King Solomon, he sent out one of his servants. He said, I want you to find a saying that will make a poor man smile and a rich man weep. A poor man smile and a rich man weep. And the saying he came up with was, this too shall pass. If you're going through tough times, if you're poor, that too shall pass. And it's just a matter of time, because it shall pass. Like the pendulum swings the other way. You know, they say it never rains every day. I think that's a Chinese proverb. It never rains every day. A broken clock is right twice a day. And sometimes we just have to hold on to hope. Once we hold on to hope, um, and also start to do some pruning and weeding and cleaning up in our mind garden. Sometimes we got a lot of bad things growing in our mind garden. We're thinking about poverty. We're thinking about what scares us. We're thinking about what depresses us. And that's what's growing in your mind garden. You just have to scoop it all out, do some spring cleaning. And all of our limiting beliefs, all of our things that keep us from going forward, things we need to just let go of, you know. And I think once you get your mind garden beautiful and full of things that are joyful, things that are not limiting, test your limits all the time, question authority, question rules. A lot of our laws are old laws, laws that don't even apply to today, but they still enforce them. They still enforce these old laws. And times change, and and also the laws must change. So I think that's what we should do every year: is go over our laws. You know, some laws are good, like don't murder, don't steal, don't bear false witness. Good old-fashioned laws that keep us protected. You know, don't don't lie, things like that. But then there are some laws that are just outdated. You know, because when you look back in history, yeah, there's probably a good idea to have certain laws in place, but then we have to reevaluate. We have to take inventory of those laws and say, is that really good for now? Do we really need to fine people? Do we really need to imprison people? Because before it was like people were in prison because of marijuana. People were in prison because they were gay. People were in prison because certain acts, certain sexual acts were deemed just unacceptable. And then times change over time. And I've noticed that, you know. I think back in the 50s, the 40s, you know, certain things that adults did with each other were people went to prison for. It's like guys are serving sentences because they had marijuana. Guys are serving sentences for these things that are now okay. You know, is that really fair? Is that fair to the people who served years in prison? People are now getting away with what those people served years in prison for. So yes. What was another one? I'm challenging myself today. The Hermetic principles. One of them is duality and polarity. Yeah, polarity is like the polarity, the degrees. Okay, you have hot and cold, love and hate, and light and dark. Those are the um, those are the dualities. But then there's the polarities. How much darkness, how much light, how cold, how hot. It's all varying degrees. And it's like, again, I like that. All truths are half truths. There are no absolutes. And some people see things in black and white. They see things as absolutes. And sometimes it's not the case. A person who steals because they have no money, a person who steals because they're going to go hungry if they don't, a person who kills in self-defense, a person who kills to hunt, you know. Some people say you should never kill. You should never ever kill. But then, like a case where a guy was in the process of robbing a restaurant. There was a sit-down restaurant, and a man walks in with a pistol and starts robbing everyone. And one person in the restaurant pulls out his pistol and kills the guy. It's like, okay, do we say you should never kill when you are saving yourself and a restaurant full of people? A restaurant full of people who have bills to pay, who have kids to feed, who want to feed themselves. And all of a sudden this guy walks in with a pistol and demands that that they give over their money, their hard-earned money, or money that they borrowed, or money that was given to them so they could get through the next few days. They're threatening their lives. Okay. And then there are those who say you should never kill. It's like, okay, if you have a choice, if it all comes down to it, and you're trying to feed your kids, you're trying to pay your bills, and some guy walks into a restaurant, sticks a gun in your face, and demands your money, and it's just disheartening. It's like, it's very bad for everyone. Everyone in that store or everyone in that restaurant. One guy had a pistol. He drew that pistol and he killed the guy, or he shot them. I don't know if the guy died or not, but he shot him. It's like, why spend all that time in in a courtroom deciding whether or not the guy did good? You know, he did a public service. He did a public service because he spared the lives of everyone in that restaurant. He spared the lives of everyone in that restaurant that could have been shot, that were in the process of being robbed. You know, that's what I like about the polarity. You know, there's good and there's evil, but then to what degree? You know, those gray areas. You know, you lie about where you are because you don't want people to know where you are. You know, you lie about how much money you have because you don't want people to know. It would be dangerous for people to know how much money you have. It would be dangerous to let someone know exactly where you live, you know. So that's, anyways, I guess I'm rambling. I guess these are things that are popping up in my head. And so I guess I should start at 4 o'clock or at least 3:30 because I noticed no one seems to join until 3:30 or until 4 o'clock. And then they all say how late it is, like, you know, it's 11 o'clock. Maybe that's the only time they have. The only time they have is 11 o'clock. You know, they have to, you know, get all their things done for each day, for the day. And that's the only time they have to spare. But then it shortens their time we can chat, you know, shortens their time that we can exchange ideas and thoughts and get to know one another. That's kind of like what I do here at Eddie's Fun House. We can all discuss things. And right now it's almost 2:30. I'm reminded of a day like today. It was December 31st. I think there's 31 days in December, or 30, yeah, something like that. It's been a while since I've checked. But New Year's Eve, there was always days like this. It was really beautiful days, and I would go to Old Sacramento. Old Sacramento it's like a western town, and they would you only had to pay one fee. It was like $5 to park your car, and in the parking garage. Because sometimes they would charge you by the hour, however many hours. But I think sometimes, like in the K Street Mall, you can get your parking validated, and it would, as long as you went there to shop, your parking was validated, and you didn't have to pay the fees. You know, so I remember that I would park my car in the parking garage, and I would have to pay for each hour I was parked in the parking garage, and it kind of takes the fun out of being there, shopping, looking around, riding the boat. They had a boat ride. You pay like $15 and you get on the boat, and it takes you down the river and then back up again. And it told you the history of the American River. It showed you where the American River and the Sacramento River met and then came back. And it was really fun going to Old Sacramento. It was always cold like this too. It was cold and it was a sunny day, and I could park in the parking garage, and you only paid $5 for the whole time. And I'd stay there until midnight. I'd stay there because we had at 9 o'clock a fireworks show, and then and then 12 o'clock, right at New Year's, when the New Year began, there was another fireworks display, and they had live bands. It was a lot of fun, really fun. And it was a haunted town too. I went in Old Sacramento. They had a ghost tour. It was pretty nice. The guy in a top hat and a long cloak. He had a top hat, a cloak, and a long walking stick. And you paid like $30, and he would take us as a group on a tour through Old Sacramento, and he would tell the ghost stories. You know, like Motel 6 had a slogan, we'll leave the light on for you. Their slogan, yeah, Motel 6 had a slogan called "We'll leave the light on for you," and it was related to a ghost story. The ghost had left a note on the table in the hotel saying, "We'll leave the light on for you." And I didn't know that. That was a fun fact. And then they talked about the cholera epidemic. You know how people were buried alive sometimes. One guy, his spirit appeared to his friend, it, to tell him that he was buried alive. And that's how he was then dug up. And there were a lot of interesting ghost stories. Some of it had to do with a ship that caught fire. I really liked Old Sacramento. And this reminds me of those New Year's Eves. On New Year's Eve, I would take the day off. I think we were given the day off. One time I had to kind of fight to get the day off for New Year's Eve. And yeah, I went to Old Sacramento, spent the entire day. I would go in there in the morning and I would stay there the whole day, going from bathroom to bathroom, going from restaurant to restaurant, in no particular order. And I met some nice people. I would wear a top hat and a vest and a white shirt. And I would show people magic tricks. So right now it's 31 minutes in, and I'm sitting here in the dark. Sometimes the sunlight is really, really bright to see the monitor here. My phone becomes my... You can see it's cold. My nose is turning red. Because we got the wind chill factor. I guess I can roast some marshmallows. While I wait, I'm waiting quite a while here. 32 minutes? You know what? The bell icon. I've heard about the bell icon. You hit the bell icon, and you click on it, and you can tell when it's going to, when a stream is going to start, or whenever a video is uploaded. You probably already know that. When a video is about to be, or when a video has been uploaded, you can, you'll get an alert, which I like that with my viewers, with my subscribers. Come on, it's got to work. Marshmallow on the end of a skewer. I think it's going out. I think it's running out of fuel. That's odd. That sucks. That's the case. I think I'm running out of fuel. I think that's it. Oh well, no marshmallow roasting today. I had my hopes up too. I thought I was gonna... What's terrible about these things is you can't refill them. You simply cannot. Yep, that's the case. No roasting today. Okay. I'm getting a warning. Let's see. Somebody might be typing something in. That makes me sad. I think it just ran out of fuel. Oh, Gerflungus. Now it's on. Now I can finally see. I made a new short with some people saying Gerflungus. I got a group of teenagers to say Gerflungus. Gerflungus. Oh, that makes me mad. It finally ran out of fuel. Oh, wait, maybe it didn't. I see a flame. The Flammen. But it's a very pathetic flame. It's not enough to roast a marshmallow. I'm going to have to write a letter to the maker of these. If you're going to go into doing all this, you need to make it refillable. Well, I think that's what happened. That happens from time to time. They try to chat with me, and the chat feature doesn't bring anything up. So maybe that's the case. That's why I'm not answering them, because I can't see. Oh, that sucks. Maybe the tiny flame will work. Let's see. Let me see if I can. It's the wind blowing. When the wind blows, it blows out the tiny flame. Yeah, yesterday it was working. There we go. I think we have liftoff. We have the burning marshmallow. I might have to run to my trunk. It works so well for so long. And today it decides to, look at that. Get the flame. The flame. The flame, boss. The flame. The flame. I hope someone joins me today. I've been 36 minutes in. I think that's what happened. The damn thing, the feature wasn't on. So somebody probably, maybe they popped in just to say Gerflungus. It takes a few times of trying to talk and then they get discouraged. So maybe those from the UK and Canada might pop in. Oh, here comes the wind. Here comes that damn wind. Here comes that wind. These taste much better when they're roasted. Yeah, but that wind picks up. I can't light a marshmallow. I can't seem to light a marshmallow. That's so upsetting. They go to all that trouble to make these, and then you can't refill them. I have some butane. Oh well, I'll try not to get too bummed out. I can't very well light a candle either because the wind is going to blow it out. I like taking a candle, light a candle, and then just use that. I might need to get a tin can. It's too late now. The show's already started. The show has begun, and I have 3 dots left. So hopefully some people will join. I was left with 2 likes. I hope the feature is working. There's been some times when the chat feature was not working. So now we could just sit and wait. I was full of good cheer because I was able to roast marshmallows. I think that's what I should do. I should run in very fast. Run in very, very fast and get my other lighter. But But then again, I'm so afraid that I'll miss some people. All they will see is the wooded area. There's no way of telling them that I'm going. I might have to go in the house, get my key, go into my car, and get a lighter, which I hate because the lighter burns my thumb. And then it has to, well, I need to stop complaining. Stop complaining. I would need a windbreaker. That's what I would need. A windbreaker. So let's see. Maybe I should pray again. I'm already praying for my brother's truck. I hope his truck can be repaired without costing too much money. That poor guy deals with so many car problems. If it's not his own car, it's his daughter's car, or it's my car, or it's my mother's car. I pray that this year all of our cars will just work. Our cars and his truck. It's really sad to see him go through all that. All these cars just breaking down and then having to fix them, having to pay all that money. But it keeps us going. My prayer is that he'll find out what's going on with his truck, and then his truck will keep working. Because it's like every time you do a repair to your car, you're adding miles. You're adding miles to that vehicle. Like if it's an alternator, if it's anything at all, if you replace it, you're putting a new part on that car. And you're adding miles to that car. You're adding to the lifetime or the life expectancy. Because usually a car only lasts about 10 years before parts start to break down. I notice some people buy a new car every 10 years or before that 10th year. They sometimes lease. But then I hear if you lease, you really should get insurance. If you lease a car, get insurance. Because that would really suck. If you're stuck in a lease and something happens to that car, or any car, and then there's gap insurance. Gap insurance saved my ass one time because I still owed on a car that I totaled. The guy crashed into me when I was trying to make a U-turn. And I had to do a lot of running around and gathering paperwork, but as soon as I got all the paperwork together, I was granted the gap insurance. I paid for the gap insurance. Gap insurance is if your car is totaled, then the gap insurance covers that gap. Whatever you owe on your car, whatever you have left, whatever you still owe on your car is covered by gap insurance. So yeah, if you buy a new car, get gap insurance. It'll save you a lot of heartache, because that would suck if you still owe on your car and you have to continue paying it off even though you can't drive it. Yeah, there's regular insurance like auto insurance, and then there's gap insurance. I don't think a lot of people know about gap insurance. They know about the regular insurance that you have to have. It's a good idea to be able to insure your car, because I've been in some doozies. Running a red light because I used my windshield wiper. I deployed my windshield wiper cleaner. It sprayed on my windshield, and then the wipers came on, and the sun hadn't come up yet. So that being dark and having the windshield wipers on, I came up on a red light. Thank God I wasn't injured. Thank God he wasn't badly injured. The guy who I hit. It's just like, man, just being sober, you know. So I guess today is going to be one of those days where it's just me. It's just me today. 43 minutes in, 45 minutes in. And it's windy. So maybe it'll be worth my while if I hang on. 'Cause it's nearly 3 o'clock. I think 3 o'clock is the prime time. I've been finding that out. Prime time. Welcome to prime time. As Freddy Krueger said. It's just kind of nice. I like being out here in the fresh open air so I can see the wildlife. The wild side. It's funny how groups get their names, rock groups, like Motley Crue. That is a motley looking crew. Hey, we'll call ourselves Motley Crue. And then Guar, they heard Guar playing. Like somebody said, God, what an awful racket. And that's how they came up with Guar. And now it's like Guar is known by a lot of people. A lot of people still go to see Guar. God, what an awful racket, someone said. It's just so peaceful out here. Well, I'm sorry to whoever that was, that person. For some reason, the feature wasn't working. The chat feature was down, so maybe the chat feature is Gerflungus. Someone has joined. Somebody joined earlier, but the chat feature wasn't on. I made a short with some people who were saying Gerflungus. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? How like a crowd of teenagers get together and say Gerflungus. So now we can say that they got instant fame. That's what I told them. I said, you're going to get instant fame if you say Gerflungus. So now that's our code word. Our password is Gerflungus. I've been at this for 48 minutes. I've been sitting here 48 minutes. I am, hold on. I'm going to kill that. Because I noticed some people it was 12 o'clock. Yesterday when I started around 4, it was, people were saying it's 12 o'clock here. So it's like I tried to start early so they wouldn't have to stay up until 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. It's almost 4 o'clock, yeah. Well, no, it's almost 3 o'clock now. But usually it's at 4 o'clock, yeah. But there's so many different time zones. I'm trying to catch everybody in their time zone. I'm finding that a challenge. Because it's like, man, I started at 4, and I think that's a reasonable time. But then other people are chatting with me are saying it's 9 o'clock here. You know, it's 11 o'clock. Because some people are calling me or chatting from the Netherlands and from Denmark. So over there, it's like at least 6 hours ahead. So I'm catching people. If I do this early, I might be able to get more, you know. I won't catch them when it's so late at night. That's my explanation. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But it's like I thought, you know, maybe the chat feature was down, because every once in a while the chat feature will be down. People will be trying to talk to me, and the chat's not working. So I'm learning as I go. just finding out what won't work. You know, like Thomas Edison. I'm not failing. I'm finding out what won't work. And so, anyways, it's good chatting with you all from time to time. I chatted for a while with somebody yesterday. We were talking about movies. So now I was talking about getting through hard times, I guess, because it seems like the world's going through a hard time. So maybe there's some light coming this next year. That'll be my New Year's resolution: is don't worry about anything, because if what really is supposed to happen is going to happen, we have very little control sometimes. Oh wow! It's only so 7 people are watching. I only see one. Maybe they're all listening attentively, listening closely. I think this is a good background. I think if I was doing a live stream inside, I would like to have a window behind me, like a false window. That's what Tom Green had. He had like a false window. He had Phil Giroux sitting there. Oh, a few days ago. Yeah, 7 people watching. Right now, only one. Somebody was on before you. He was on for very briefly. He wrote Gerflungus also, and I think it was I didn't have the feature turned on, so he was trying to chat with me, and I guess he got discouraged. I know, it's interesting. It's like, wow, you never know how many people you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But like I say, if you miss the stream, you can always watch after it's been pre-recorded. I have a lot of pre-recorded streams. Some who have only had a few views. I think the most I've gotten is 99 views on one of them. 300 views was on one of the older ones. So I guess I'm doing this each day, or whenever I can. Each day is good because people can check in with me. I'm doing like a routine. I do like at least 3 shorts in a day, and then I do a live stream, and then I begin to stream. I'm gonna have to invest in another one of these lighters. This lighter was working great yesterday, and I think it just ran out of fuel. As long as the wind isn't blowing, you got to be so careful with these. They don't want to work if you don't have fuel in them. So I guess I'll have to toss that one. Kind of bums me out because I was roasting some marshmallows and I can't do it now. All I have is my fart gun. I'll have to have a backup lighter. That's what I can do. In case the one I'm working with isn't working anymore. Or get like a refillable lighter. Oh, somebody popped off already. It went to 0. They didn't say goodbye. I get sad when you don't say goodbye. I was on a roll yesterday when I did we were back to 1. Someone who said Gerflungus. I saw one else watching the stream, so I came. Well, thank you. A gentle soul, a kind soul. I noticed that. Today, not a lot of people are 54 minutes in, so maybe something will happen. My battery pack is still running. I got 3 dots left, so we can laugh, fart, love, in no particular order. We can all chat now. I guess the sun is shining. We're outdoors. So what part of the world are you from? I like chat. I like nice fart gun. That's right. The batteries are fully charged. If they're not, I charge them up again. It lights up too. It's fun to do it in the dark. It's a lot brighter. It's an amplified fart gun. Leslie Nielsen liked to use the fart gun. Also, Alan Rickman, the guy who played Professor Snape, he put a fart machine in Harry Potter's sleeping bag. I like fart guns or fart machines. Oh, Leslie Nielsen had a pooter. He had one of those pooters. There's this guy who goes around with a pooter. He'll go like into Walmart, Old Sacramento. It's funny to watch because some people get mad when he uses the pooter. I think it'd be easy to find. He's on YouTube. Just do a search for pooter. The guy sells pooters, and he also likes to prank people in the store. Sometimes he gets a lot of laughs. Just doing the pooter. Looks like we got two people. Identify yourself. Who goes there? Remember, you can see me, but I can't see you. So it's always good to say, that way I can, maybe the same two people from yesterday are here. Somebody gave me another like, thank you. We'll ring the bell. Hopefully it's not too loud. This bell is one thing I can depend upon. It doesn't need fuel or batteries. It's just a regular bell. I can depend on my my jaw harp. I think more people are finding out about me now. I introduced myself yesterday. Allow myself to introduce myself. It was kind of nice. This group of teenagers, they agreed to say Gerflungus. They all stood together in the shot. Gerflungus. I'm going to see how many more people I can get to say Gerflungus. Some people, when I go out, whenever I go out, the people always shout, Gerflungus! And cracking. Somebody said I did a cracking. My stream was cracking, so I say, let loose the cracking. Let loose the kraken. How many people have seen Clash of the Titans? The very first one, not the remake. That was a pretty good show. I still have that. Clash of the Titans. It was all about Medusa's head, the story of Perseus. We got a tutu trade. So we got two people and one person chatting. Is it cold where you are? It's cold here. On top of it, I'm sitting in the shade. I like sitting here because it gives me a good view back there. A very nice view. I hope you're all having fun. Yesterday I was eating some snacks. And somebody else was eating M&Ms, so we were eating snacks together during the stream. Did you see my dog? I did a short with my dog and a sweater. My mom bought her dog a sweater. It's got a little penguin on the back. I thought it would get a lot of views, but it didn't. It didn't get that many views. My little Christmas doggy. So we're down to one now. Somebody got bored and left. But then that's not very accurate, I've noticed. Sometimes it'll say zero and there'll be one person, or one person and there'll be two people. I think it'll take a while. I'm one of those guys who have to work really hard to get somewhere. Some people within weeks or months of becoming YouTuber, they get lots of or they get lots of subscribers and lots of views. And then there are guys like me who have to work a little harder. Got to get up that hill. It took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. So, are you having fun? I've got 3 likes. I'm doing all I can to stay interesting, to stay classy. Maybe I'll get 7 people today. Who knows? I noticed that. Maybe I should announce if I'm going to start early. Because right now it's almost 3 o'clock. Almost 3 o'clock. So maybe I'll have some more. You're still here. Okay. Well, then I'll watch what I say. I'll keep being polite. I'll keep being kind and polite. I was watching this. Okay, that's all right. As long as you're entertained, I guess that's all that matters. I'm like the human puppet show. Punch and Judy. There was a puppet show called Punch and Judy. I guess Judy did all the punching. I think you'd be able to find that online if you did a search for Punch and Judy. That was pretty popular when I was a kid. You should ask your mom and dad about Punch and Judy. See if they remember. It was a puppet show where they were always fighting with each other. And then there was Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. It was an old lady with a puppet that looked like a lamb. Then there was Howdy Doody. There was a comedian, Andy Kaufman, that I liked. He was a fan of Howdy Doody. I think he had Howdy Doody he had him come on his show. REM made a song. They had a song called Man on the Moon. It was about Andy Kaufman. If you watch the video, it's a kind of a story. If you believe they put a man on the moon. I think that was a 90s song. Pretty sure that was in the 90s. REM sang a lot of good songs. I like their song, It's the End of the World as We Know It. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. That one had a lot of words to it. It's hard to keep up with the words, the lyrics. And then there was one that was similar by Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning. That has a lot of words to it too. And then there was Meatloaf. Meatloaf did, in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, he did Hot Patootie. Hot Patootie, bless my soul. I really love that rock and roll. They said they hired him to sing the song because he was the only one that could sing all the words. It had a lot of words to it also. Hot Patootie, bless my soul. I really love that rock and roll. He had to sing it fast and there were a lot of words, so he was the only one that could do it. So they hired him to play Eddie. I think he was the only one that was killed in the movie. Frankenfurter had killed Eddie. I didn't see the Rocky Horror Picture Show until the early 90s, like 94, 93. It came out in 75. It used to be a London show. I think it was in London they played it, or in the UK. The Muppet Show was the same. The Muppet Show, I thought it was filmed here in America, but a lot of American channels wouldn't take. You're in London. Cool. I think. Yeah, I'm trying to keep track of who is from where. Because, like, there's a few people. I think there's at least 3 people that talk to me from the UK. So it's like probably 9 o'clock there. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's probably 8 o'clock. Actually, 2000 in the UK. It's probably already dark. So anyway, I think 3 o'clock would be a better time instead of 2. So, yeah, it's like, oh, 2002. Okay, great. It's 3:02 here. Actually, 20, 15:02. Yeah. So you guys are already in the nighttime hours instead of. That is kind of interesting. How depending on where you are on the face of the earth, that's what time it is. So yeah. Hopefully this time it won't rain. Last time I was in the middle or at towards the end. I know here too. Nighttime starts at like 5 o'clock. So yeah, 1700. Yeah. So we're struggling to keep in the light. We have to go earlier into that good night. I noticed that right around 5 o'clock it starts to get really dark, which is 1700. And then we have supper. And then it's bedtime. I have to go tomorrow to get some blood work done. My doctor wants to know what's going on with my, see if my medication needs to be adjusted. I don't think anybody likes getting their blood drawn. That seems to be a real common thing if you have a medical condition. I never envy those people. Whenever I'm in the hospital, I have to get my blood drawn a lot. So, ever since I was a kid, I never liked getting any kind of needles. I don't think a lot of people like needles. They're very expensive. You can go into debt very fast. If you don't have insurance. Wow, I got a helicopter. I'm competing with a helicopter. A helicopter. Yeah, it is. It's if you, I think I recommend insurance. Sometimes it's yeah, that's what will save you if you get insurance. Sometimes it's a premium. I remember paying $62 a month for my insurance. But then you get saved a lot of money. Because I've seen some of those bills and it's crazy. Just your prescription, whatever they prescribe you, it can cost a lot of money here in the U.S. Like, I feel sorry for people who are diabetic and people who have asthma. If you have asthma or diabetes, that would be a very hard habit to keep up with. Because asthma, you have to pay for those inhalers. Or if you're allergic to something, you need a HepaPen or heparin. Because sometimes, man, but then you don't want. I know, and you got to keep it chilled. Yeah, insulin. But then, yes. So insurance is highly recommended. It's hard that they make your health a business. Health should not be a business, in my opinion, because you don't have a choice in the matter. Like if you're a shopper, if you go out shopping a lot and you have a habit of spending a lot of money, that's a decision. But health, yes, isn't that interesting? It's like here in the America, it's like, and Canada also. I think Canada, you get health care. That's very upsetting because then there's drawbacks to capitalism. If they capitalize on the health of the people, there's something wrong with that. Because if you want to live, they shouldn't put a price tag on that. It's really upsetting because like where are you going to get the money from? Sometimes you can't work, you know. Sometimes you can't go out and earn money anymore. And then you're just kind of like, okay, what do you do now? You die a horrible death because you don't get your medications. And it's like they make it to where you need medications. They never they never work on the cure, you know. They should focus more on the cure. Then there's Chris Rock, a comedian here in the U.S. He says there's no money in the cure, you know. That's why they don't work on the cure. There's money in when they keep selling you the medication to keep you alive. The one I don't like is cancer. They keep you alive until they can't keep you alive anymore. In some states, they have death with dignity. Like if you're deemed terminally ill, you can choose to end your life, and that's only in a few states here. You know, I think in Canada they made it an international law, or not international, but a nationwide law, the death with dignity. Because yeah, I've seen so many videos of people who are dying from cancer, and all they do is they keep them alive until they can't keep them alive anymore, and then it's that sad moment when they finally pass away. You know, and it's like in the animals, you know, the animals they put down animals that are suffering, but humans they seem to just keep them going. You know, chemotherapy, all these other types of experimental uh, measures that they take to try to keep you alive until they can't do it anymore. And it's really hard on the family. It's really hard on the person. I don't know. I have my thoughts about that. But on the bright side, I know healthcare is crazy. It's almost like psychopathy, you know. Oh, you want to stay alive? It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a lot. You might have to put your home up for sale so you can afford your insulin, you know. But then again, yeah, I like these. I don't know why America's fighting so hard against centralized healthcare. You know, because there's a lot of people who could really use it. Because not everyone is just blessed with riches and wealth, and especially when you have health issues. When you have health issues, it's hard to hold a job. Yeah, I know. So anyway, America needs some work done. But then again, we have all this politics. You know, I'm sure in every country it's all about the politics. You know, but then all you have to do is just live life and keep living life. Sometimes it's just sheer luck and miracles. I've noticed that in my life. You know, the fact that things things get taken care of, and it seems to be miraculous. You know, because when I was growing up, it was always stay employed, keep paying your bills. You know, do hard work. Hard work always gets you what you need, and then something happens to your health. You can't work hard if you're not healthy, and so yeah, it's a big trade-off. And then you got to stay happy in the process. So I think that's what it is. Life is it's a divine comedy. I look at life as a divine comedy. It's just a comedy of errors. Because sometimes there's our expectations, and then there are how things really happen. That fantasy and reality, sometimes it's just like you're a cast member in a movie. That's what life feels like to me. I'm just a cast member in a movie, and I'm watching it all. I don't know what the ending is going to be like, but enjoy things as they're happening. Because if you're sitting in a restaurant and people are bringing you food, or you're going on a road trip to visit family and friends, enjoy that while it's happening. Because then you see all these horrors that happen, you know, wars going on, car accidents, people being robbed, or and then there's birthday parties, and then there's a movie everybody's waiting to come out, or Grand Theft Auto. Everybody's waiting for Grand Theft Auto, and so it's kind of funny. It's like you have to look at life and just laugh at it, because everybody's greedy, everybody's trying to collect money, You had something happen to you that you had no choice in. You had no choice in the matter. You have a heart attack, you get into an accident, you injure yourself or you're injured by someone, and you had no choice in the matter. And then now all these new responsibilities, this new normal comes up, and it just makes me laugh. I remember when my brother was going through cancer treatment, he reached a point in his life where he just started laughing. You know, he was looking at his life and how it turned out, or how the present state, the state of affairs, or the state of his life, and he just started laughing. And I'm getting to that point too, because I was working, and then I had a heart attack, and then all these medical issues, all these medications that I'm on now, and it's like, how can anybody possibly, you know, on a regular income afford all this? And it's like you're asking a guy to hand over 30 pieces of silver, and he doesn't have any silver at all. And it's like, yeah, I would like $1 million right now. Sure, I'll just ask if you'll give me $1 million, and it'll make, and then I'll go away. I would love to just, yeah. I would like a toilet made of gold. And it's funny, all these demands that people want to, they have these demands, and it's like they're crazy. It's like a guy is making $14 an hour, or $10 an hour, and he's supposed to pay $1,000 or more for a month for rent. It's comical. It's laughable. And it's like how I view life. It's all just a comedy. It's just funny. It's funny, like, okay, you want $8,000 from me to the medical costs that I've incurred, you know, and I don't have any income. It's like, good luck with that. And it just makes, I don't know. I hope I'm not boring you with all this, but it's just you got to laugh at stuff like that. It's like they have the mentality of a 4-year-old. I want to go to Disneyland. I want a go-kart. It's like, okay, going to Disneyland, how much does that cost to go to Disneyland? It's like, I want a car like my neighbor has. It's like, good luck with that, kid. You know, everyone has these lofty demands and dreams. But anyways, I guess you got to have a sense of humor. You got to laugh at how crazy things are. I think that's a good thing. If you can cure your depression by seeing the humor and the stupidity. They say you can't fix stupid, and stupid should hurt. And sometimes stupid does hurt, and you just got to laugh at how stupid things are. Stupid and crazy are almost the same thing. Crazy is just when you're out of control. Stupid is just when you're just stupid. You do things that are stupid. Anyway, how are you liking this so far? Are we having fun yet? So we got 2 people. This is a good outlet for me. I like this, This is like my free therapy. Well, doctor, here's how I try to handle things. I like that psychologist or psychiatrist joke. How many how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? One, but the light bulb has to really want to change. I've always liked psychology. There's a lot of things that are beneficial if you understand psychology. A lot of marketing is basic psychology. It's like they understand the pack mentality. If you can get enough people to like something, if you can get enough people to agree on something, it's virtually unstoppable. Anyway, I think I'm turning into Glenn Beck or Rush Limbaugh. They're these guys, these political commentaries. And then Alex Jones. I wonder if everyone knows about Alex Jones. He was being sued. I think he's still sued. Sandy Hook. I guess it was a Sandy Hook. Took him to court. Oh, you know Alex Jones? Okay, or you've heard of him? He's interesting to listen to. He does a lot of investigative kind of journalism. Glenn Beck was another one. I know. Isn't that funny? They were talking about that with fluoride. Fluoride is supposed to subdue people, make them less aggressive. They were saying fluoride is supposed to help you have healthy teeth, and but they were saying the real reason for fluoride is to make people docile. Isn't that interesting? It's like in the things we have to buy at the supermarket, you can't just grow your own livestock. A lot of people, you can have your own livestock, but you can't sell it. You can produce your own eggs, but you can't sell them. Milk is the same thing. You have to make sure that your milk is pasteurized. So it's like we're forced to drink pasteurized milk and treated eggs. One thing I heard about eggs is um, an egg that's not treated will bounce if you drop it. An egg that's treated will crack if you drop it. That's what I heard. It's like if you pull an egg right out from under a hen and you drop it, it'll bounce. It'll hit the ground and not break. But if it's been treated, that's what makes the shell hard. And then there's all this like 2% milk, whole milk, and it's like they've all done something to it. They add chemicals instead of just getting milk itself is healthy if it comes straight from the cow, but it's like they're doing all these things to our food. There's stuff like seeds. They're making seeds to where they can't germinate because they don't want you to grow things on your own. And then there's conspiracy theories. And some conspiracies turn out to be true if you research them. That's what we talk about here. We call it Eddie's Funhouse. We talk about conspiracies. We talk about the high cost of healthcare in the U.S. Some people are going to Canada because they need healthcare. Even Mexico, they're going to Mexico because to get procedures done. Because here in the U.S. it costs so much. They're your best friend when you have insurance. They'll do all kinds of things for you if you have insurance. But that's just my thoughts. I've been through a few things, so I think I have room to talk. Yeah. It is funny, they're all fun. They like you, and then when they try to collect money from you. I don't think I get calls anymore. I used to get a lot of calls right when I went through my surgeries and everything. I got lots of calls to collect money. And I said, I'm not making any money. And then they stopped calling me. because then they have all these programs, or they call it financial aid. You have to sign some papers to say, okay, if you qualify, we have financial aid for those who qualify. A lot of times you can't get aid because you make too much money, and that's what makes me laugh even more. You make too much money for me to help you, and it's like, if I if I didn't need any money, I wouldn't be coming to you for help with money. So anyway, are you laughing with me? the crazy these crazy demands people have for people who can't really do much. In lawsuits, it's like if somebody sues you and you have no money, it's like, what are they, they're just wasting their time. What are they going to do to you if you can't pay any money? Someone sues you because they're offended, or somebody sues you because you hit them, and it's like, okay, go ahead, try to take money from me. That's what's really big. I think here in the U.S., a lot of people like to sue. Sometimes it makes the news, A lady spills coffee in her lap, and then she sues. She sues McDonald's because she spilled coffee in her lap. And it's like, be more careful. But she said that the lid wasn't on. The lid wasn't on the cup correctly, so she spilled the hot coffee on herself. It's like, maybe you're just clumsy. Why should you get $2 million if you're just clumsy? It's like they handed the cup of coffee to you, and what happened after that? It's in your hands now. The coffee is in your hands now. It's like you're suing someone else because you spilled the coffee after it was placed in your hands. It's like, and then there are people who get mad at the drive-through, They get mad because a store has run out of a certain food, and they get mad, and they make a scene. They start tearing up the store. They go on a rampage because there's no McRibs or something like that. It's hilarious. So we are an hour in, and I have one person. Yeah. I hope this is fun for you. This is definitely fun for me. So I have 3 likes. So what should we do now after we've griped about some things? We shake our fist at Parliament. I used to hear that one of my friends would say, people just shake their fist. That's all they can do is shake their fist. And I think it is all how you approach things. If you see things for their ridiculous as they are, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. And then the reasons people get put in jail or prison because they say something. There was a rash of people who would they would photobomb journalists, and they would say something obscene and run away. It's like, what harm is there in that? One guy was getting in a lot of trouble because that's what he did. He did what a lot of people did, was he would walk up to a journalist while they were giving a report at a location, and they would run up and say an obscenity and then run away. And one guy happened to get caught, and he was facing court, facing charges because he did what everyone else did. Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming by. I hope I didn't talk too much. I just have to laugh at things. And hopefully this was as enjoyable for you as it was for me. And so someone had to go, and Bye. I hope to see you again. So, not Dwid, not Dawid. So that's what your handle is. I'm trying to remember all these handles. I have quite a few handles that pop up. So it was good talking, or thank you for listening to me talk. So now we have one, looks like one left. We do this for almost 2 hours. This is almost 2 hours. So I'm getting over being self-conscious. That's what I'm doing. That's my challenge. Sometimes I'm wondering if I'm talking. There are people who are talking. No, they're listening to you, and then there are people who are waiting to talk. That's what I heard. There's two different kinds of people. There are those who are listening and those who are waiting to talk. And I hope I'm not facing someone who's waiting to talk. I'm just full of so much energy today. So we'll see what happens. I've got my 3 likes. What's up? You are from Denmark? I think I remembered it right. So some people, 1 man enter, 1 man leave. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Wasn't that Beyond Thunderdome? Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome. That was the one with Mad Max. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Who run Bartertown? Embargo lifted. Who hasn't seen Beyond Thunderdome? That was part of a trilogy. First there was Mad Max, then there was The Road Warrior, and then there was Beyond Thunderdome. I remember going all the way into Reno. I went into Reno to watch Beyond Thunderdome. They had those people suspended in the Thunderdome. They were like on bungee cords. I remember that. Bungee cords. He has the mind of a child. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, I'm just making all these funny voices. Embargo lifted. Who run Bartertown? Master Blaster runs Bartertown. Who run Bartertown? I did that one time with my brother. I texted him, who run Bartertown? Master Blaster. So we got one person left. Somebody from the UK. He said he was from the UK. The United Kingdom. So I guess this is a good time. At least 3:30. 3 o'clock I can start. They noticed I was early, so maybe I'm not too early. We were talking about how crazy things are. The crazy demands people put on people who can't really do much. They think everybody has a bajillion, gazillion dollars or thousands of dollars in a shoebox somewhere that they can just come up with. But it's Christmas time. Everyone's out shopping for that perfect Christmas gift. I think cash is the best Christmas gift. You can't go wrong with cash. If you hand somebody cash, they can't be disappointed, you know. Sometimes people open a present and they're kind of disappointed because nobody knows how to give a good gift, or they don't know what's good to give somebody. And then they ask a stranger, what do you think I should get for my 7-year-old son? You know, what should I get for my grandpa? It's like, give him some cash. It's like, it's hard not to smile when you have cash in your hand. It's like, just hold some cash in your hand and just try not to smile. It's like, or try not to feel good inside when you have cash. And then you don't have to return it. You don't have to go in and return it. You know, that's what when somebody hands me a Christmas card, I always look for the cash. You know, it's kind of, and then I get disappointed when I open a Christmas card and there's no cash in it. Sometimes like, oh, $5 bill, oh, a $20 bill, and then you say, oh yeah, that's what you do. Forget the Christmas card. You can throw the Christmas card away, and then you just put the cash in your pocket, and it's like $5 less than you have to spend. Yes, that's what I would say. For your 7-year-old son, how about some cash? Gift cards. I don't understand gift cards. It's almost like, here, shop at the place where I want you to shop. It's like if I open up if somebody hands me a gift card, it's like they're forcing me to shop at Walmart. You know, they're forcing me to shop at Target, and I really just want to go to a restaurant. You know, I really just need a new pair of socks or something. It's like a gift card? Are you kidding me? And then you have to pay a little more for the gift card. I think some of these preloaded, like Visa cards, they have these preloaded Visa cards. You got to pay a certain amount more. So it's like, I guess gift cards, you only pay the price of the gift card. Like if it's a $20 gift card. But anyway, it's amazing. Right after Christmas, you have all these people standing in line to return their gift. It's like, how do you make any money if people are just returning their gifts? I don't get it. You want to make some money? Hand cash, because then the person is buying what they really wanted. You know, you should only return it if it doesn't fit, not because you didn't want it. Nobody returns cash. Nobody comes up to the bank and says, I don't want this $20. You know, I don't want this $5. Can I exchange it? Unless they're giving out $100 bills instead. Yeah. So is everybody having a good time? Looks like I got one person only. Is this like watching a parade? Is this as fun as watching a parade? I remember that they'd have parades and there would always be two people from a news channel. They're giving commentaries. Oh, here comes Winnie the Pooh. You know, here comes Bullwinkle. Here comes the marching band. And they're out in the cold, especially on Christmas Day. They have that Christmas Day parade. At least here. They're always filming from New York. You're watching a parade that's happening in New York while you're opening presents. So what kind of mood is everyone in? I got two people. One person said hi. Make yourselves known in the land of Gerflungus. I think what it is that it's like they're listening to the radio. I've had people tell me that. They're saying, well, I'm doing stuff around the house while I'm listening to you talk. So maybe I'm like a radio you can see. A radio commentary that you could watch on your screen. Oh boy, I got two people. And I mean that. Thank you for joining me. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting out here, rambling on. The nonsensical ravings of a lunatic mind. The nonsensical ravings of a lunatic mind. Oh, cool. You're doing your homework. All right. That puts you ahead of everyone else. Homework. When you come home, you shouldn't be working. You come home to come home. That's what I always would hope for. I would hope I would not get homework on a Friday. On Friday, you should get a break from homework. Because Saturday and Sunday, you should be with your friends. You should be out fishing, hunting, hiking, running from coyotes, running from burglars. No, wait, burglars come to your house. Muggers meet you in the street. Muggers. I guess around here it's starting to be like the Old West. Here in Georgia, you're allowed to carry a firearm, whether it's concealed or open carry, which I think is a good idea because you never know when somebody is going to try to mug you or rob you. And it's if you can pull out a pistol, that robbery will be stopped immediately. What I like is watching when somebody tries to stick up somebody and they pull out their own pistol, and the look on their face and how discouraged they are, when they pull out a pistol. I think it's a good idea because a lot of crimes are stopped simply by somebody having a pistol because they're all counting on you. These robbers are all counting on you not having a weapon, and they think it's just going to be a walk in the park. That reminds me of in RoboCop, the very first RoboCop, when the bad guy walks into a restaurant to rob it, and he says, "All right, hand over the money," and the restaurant was full of cops. I love that scene. The very first RoboCop with Peter Weller, he played the RoboCop, and the guy walks up to the register, and he points a gun at the guy at the register, and he says, "All right, hand over the money." And then all these cops start pulling out their weapons, pulling out their pistols. All you see is lasers, the lasers pointed at him. That was funny. Another movie is Falling Down. Have you ever seen Falling Down? Michael Douglas plays a guy who just he just gives up on life, I guess. Or he gets so frustrated, and all these different events happen that I don't want to spoil the end of the movie, but it's pretty good. It's a movie called Falling Down. I think it was made back in the 90s. I still have that movie. I should watch it again. It's a very intense movie, but it's funny at the same time. Robert Duvall, he plays a cop, a really smart cop. And the whole plot of the movie was investigating, finding out how to catch this guy who's going around with some pistols, and basically he's overcoming bad guys, and it's kind of funny to watch, because he's confronted by these two guys who want to attack him because he's in their territory, and then he kind of fights them off, and it's funny because he makes the guys run. These two tough guys that are saying, "Hey, you're in our territory," and yeah. What was another good movie? I like those movies where the good guy wins, the underdog. I grew up on Bruce Lee movies, a lot of Bruce Lee movies. I was made my pair of nunchucks. We used to take broomsticks and cut them up, cut up broomsticks, and then we'd take dog leashes, and we'd break the chain on the dog leashes, and then we'd nail the chains to the broomsticks, and that would be our nunchucks. And then I moved to California. California, nunchucks were illegal. Here in Georgia, you can have nunchucks. It It was always cool watching Bruce Lee fight with nunchucks. It was such an odd weapon. I've never seen anything like it. And then coming home and every time we'd watch a movie, we'd try to act out scenes from the movie. Some people would play like they were like they had lightsabers or do sword fights in the yard. That was always fun. We're gonna duel. We're gonna have our makeshift swords. We used to make whips. We would take clotheslines and braid them and make whips out of them, so we could crack them, make that big cracking noise. And then when I became a grown-up, I got myself a bullwhip. One guy, Tom Savini, he's a special effects guy. He's really good with a bullwhip. He's one of those guys who can, if you put a cigarette in your mouth, he can snap the cigarette out of your mouth with the bullwhip. Some people can cut cards. You know, you hold up a card and they snap the bullwhip and they can cut the card with the bullwhip. Knife throws are pretty cool. There's this one guy I watch on YouTube a couple of times with, he's like a world champion knife thrower. Hello, my friends. Today I'm going to show you how to do a no-spin throw. You know. And then there's the slingshot channel. I like him. Let me show you his features. He makes like these, he makes a lot of odd weapons, you know, like little pistol crossbows and sometimes everything, it's always something that sticks into something. It's always fun to watch. The Slingshot Channel. He speaks. Message retracted? How can you retract a message? I guess it was probably might have been some top secret. Something top secret. Message retracted. Have you ever Breaking Bad? Yeah, I have the original, the first episodes on DVD. Yeah, that guy, he gets cancer, and then he starts to, he's a chemistry teacher, and he learns how to, he starts making meth and selling it. That's a pretty outrageous show. You have to suspend disbelief. Breaking Bad. Trying to remember the guy who plays him. I used to know his name. I can't remember his name for some reason. It eludes me. He also was in Malcolm in the Middle. He played the dad on Malcolm in the Middle. It was like a sitcom. Then God, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. But I was told I looked like him when yeah, Bryan Cranston. That is him. Yeah. He's got a good sense of humor. I've heard him interviewed a few times. He did a Super Bowl commercial. He was dressed like those girls in The Shining. If you ever watched The Shining. You can stay with us forever and ever. Bryan Cranston, that's right. He was wearing glasses too in that. He had like that Blues Brothers style hat. Yeah, I remember I had that on DVD. It's like the box set of the first few episodes. It shows when he first gets cancer, and then he has to raise money because of his treatments, or for his treatments. And then later on, it was all about how he got mixed up with cartels. He got mixed up with gang members, and he had to do a lot of crazy stuff to defend himself and to scare the gang members. Breaking Bad. It takes a little while sometimes for shows to get around. Because I noticed like Stranger Things is a show that my brother watched. I think he still watches it. It's called Stranger Things, and they use a lot of '80s characters in that. Winona Ryder is in Stranger Things. She was in Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder, yeah, she's and Robert Englund, the guy who played Freddy Krueger, is in Stranger Things. Because the show takes place during the '80s, and it's a pretty cool show. And then there was Walking Dead. The Walking Dead was filmed here in Georgia. Some scenes, I think, were filmed in Georgia. That had a long run. There was a lot of attention drawn to Walking Dead. They had like an after show after they would talk to some of the actors and actresses after the show. Chris Hardwick, he would host it. It was like after The Walking Dead or something like that. My brother's wife was really into The Walking Dead. It was just a big zombie show. Mo Collins was in Mad TV, and she was one of the characters in The Walking Dead. Mo Collins was really funny. I like to watch her on Mad TV. She played a lot of funny characters. I like when she did Stuart. She played Stuart's mom. Well, hello, Stuart. What did I tell you about jumping on the bed? What did I tell you about jumping on the bed? Well, come on, Stuart. I don't want to. Look what I can do. That was funny watching Stuart. All those skits that they did. Stuart, I don't want you to have any more cookies. I'm starting to attract birdies. There's birds. There's a bird anticipating landing on the bird feeder. We have like little sparrows around here that attack our bird feeder. They seem to like the food on the ground more. Oh, they're starting to come around. I think what I should do is get more of the bird seeds out of the feeder and sprinkle them on the ground. I guess that's what their instinct is. Their instinct is to pick at seeds that are on the ground because they don't always like to go up in the feeder. The feeder kind of looks like a pagoda, one of those Japanese pagodas. I learned something about pagodas. They're built around a pole, and because of earthquakes. And when the earthquakes hit, the the pagoda doesn't crumble because it's built on a pole, on a single pole. And I guess the pole moves back and forth when the earthquake hits. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Build yourself a gaboda. Can you say gaboda? The Game of Death. That was a pretty good show. Bruce Lee's The Game of Death. They had to fight different martial artists on the way up a pagoda. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was one of the fighters that Bruce Lee had to go against. They had like a karate guy on the first level. Each level of the pagoda was a different one person watching. I know, isn't that weird? Well, there's you too. There's two people watching. You know what I say is people if they miss the live stream, they can always watch again. So who knows? Maybe people start to catch on. That is criminal. I agree. It's criminal that I can't roast marshmallows right now. I was trying to roast marshmallows and my little lighter ran out of fuel. They make these lighters and you can't refill them. So I can't roast marshmallows right now. I'm kind of pissed at that. Because marshmallows cheer me up, Nothing cheers me up like a roasted marshmallow. Or a bowl of cereal, a nice sugary bowl of cereal. I know sometimes they don't work. You know, when you get them brand new, they work, and then after a while, they just run out of fuel. I like them because you can, when you have those candles that are in a cup, you can stick it down in the cup and light them. They're like those magic candles. You know, you light them for good luck or you light them for love. I used to be able to get those a lot of. I got a lot of those. In California, there was a shop that I went into that you can just. I used to bring home at least 3 or 4 of them. Some of them were black candles, some of them were white candles, some were green candles. The green candles drew money to you, or you can win the lottery. They sell these lottery candles. I noticed at the grocery store, you can get these candles. You light them, and it has like a a lottery candle, a love candle. I have a guardian angel candle. My mom got it for me when I was released from the hospital. She got me a guardian angel candle. Those are pretty fun. Because when you light the candle, the angel lights up. It looks like you're visited by a glorious angel. A glorious angel. And yesterday I had a ladybug land on me. And I researched the meaning of a ladybug. It means that good fortune is heading your way. And hey, there's our friend. Hold on, hold on. This is our friend. See if I can hit it again. There we go. There's Francesca. What you up to, kitty? Kitty, 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 kitty. Hi. She just happened to join us. There's Francesca. She keeps me company from time to time. I think she's just sniffing around. Hello, kitty, kitty. Meow, meow, meow. Look at that. She gets, when I go, meow, 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 meow. Pick up views, gather audiences. That's what I should do. Yeah, I was doing that yesterday. Let me see if I can, essays which pick up more views and gather an audience so lives can get. I know, I'm just trying to get to where I know is there's some people who joined the stream that tell me their friend told them about them. Because I know there's 2 people from Canada. It started out with just a guy named Arthur, and then one of his friends, he told one of his friends, and his friend now joins. And I know I see what I can do on a low budget to see how, because I like to do Main Street in Dallas, Georgia. I was filming there yesterday. Yesterday when I did my stream, I did a stream that was in the town square. They decorated it for Christmas, and that's where I met those teenagers that said Gerflungus in the short. I want to see if I can stop people. You know, like there's a guy, Jay Leno. He was one of our nighttime. He did the Late Show with Jay Leno or something like that. He would approach people on the street and ask them questions. Yeah. I wonder why it stops playing. Let me see if I can read all that again. I got to be careful with those paragraphs. Let's see. I wish I could play background because every time out stream stops playing. Oh yeah. Well, I wonder if it's the Wi-Fi. That's weird how it would stop playing. Sometimes I can resume when I'm watching a video. I can go back to the last video I watched. I guess this is a learning process for me, trying to figure out the best way to do a show. because this is like my public access. Because a lot of people, they start out with public access, and that's how they can become known. YouTube is a really easy way for me to get out there. I heard a story about a guy who was being attacked by a bear. He was being attacked by a bear, and a ringtone went off with a Justin Bieber song. It was Baby Baby, and the bear ran off. So the Justin Bieber song scared the bear off, which is kind of funny. You know, it's like, okay, this guy's being attacked by a bear. His ringtone goes off, and his daughter put Baby Baby as the ringtone, and the bear ran off into the forest. Then there was a story about, yes, that could be it. He got a good taste. Bears actually eat people. He knows his music. Oh yeah, he knows his music. He knows Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber got all tatted up too. He got a bunch of tattoos. He used to be like one of those heartthrobs. I remember that when Justin Bieber first came out. He was a heartthrob. He's from Canada. And Avril Lavigne is also Canadian. I still like watching Avril Lavigne's videos. She's such a pretty girl. He was a skater boy. He said, "See you later, boy." I guess skating is a pretty international thing. I know a lot of people are into skating here in the U.S. In Canada, they do skating also. There's Tony Hawk. I think he's like an icon. Him and Tom Green worked together. Freddy Got Fingered. If you watch the opening of Freddy Got Fingered, Tom Green is on a skateboard. And he said he bought his first skateboard. He was in Ottawa, and he was showing the store where he bought his first skateboard. So yeah, I guess it's pretty popular. In Canada, hockey is really popular. I like that joke. I went to a fight once, and a hockey game broke out. Yeah, they're really big into hockey. Kind of like we were into football. Super Bowl seems to be a big deal. Man, Super Bowl. You can always tell when it's Super Bowl Sunday because the churches are kind of empty. Everybody's at home watching Super Bowl. The commercials are always cool. Oh, wow, underground. That's when you know you're really elect, when you're part of an underground group, you know. Some people, they take swimming pools. They empty out a swimming pool and they skate in the swimming pool. And then there's also skate parks. Skate parks are pretty cool. There's a lot to do at a skate park. And there's indoor skate parks also. I've seen those. If you ever watch Jackass, they try to kill each other with skateboards. Steve-O's doing interviews now. Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville, he goes on to interviews. And then there's like the Wild Boys. I think it was Steve-O and Chris Pontius. They did a show called Wild Boys. And it was all about going on location and studying animals. And it was pretty fun to watch. But now, Wild Ride, I think he calls it. Steve-O has a van, and he asks people to come on board the van, and he interviews them on the van. That seems to be a big deal nowadays, interviews. Danny Tosh from Tosh.0, he does a YouTube interviews now. They're kind of like podcasts. And Tom Green was doing interviews also. I was watching one yesterday. I know, he was a clown. He was called Steve-O the Clown. And then he joined the Jackass group. Steve-O's close friends with Tom Green, or he worked with Tom Green for quite some time. It's always nice watching the Tom Green interviews. Yesterday I was watching one with Carrot Top. Carrot Top was being interviewed by Tom Green. He was getting him drunk during the interview. He brought out a bottle of liquor, and he kept giving him shots. And he was showing off some of Carrot Top. He was showing some of his props that he used, and the Miley Cyrus mixer was kind of funny. So yeah. So I got 4 likes. How about that? It's 4 o'clock. Right now it is. Yeah. 1600. So it's probably real late in the UK right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about 9 o'clock in the UK. What's funny is I get more of my UK viewers at night. So it seems like they're probably, they finish their work day, they finish supper, so they're just looking to be entertained at 9 o'clock. I remember watching the Love Line. I think it started at 10 o'clock. Love Line on MTV. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew Pinsky. They would have people call in and talk about their love issues or questions they had about their bodies. And I think Chris McGaha was a guest on there also. And then Sandra Bernhard, I think. Anyways, that was a long time ago. Back in the 90s. It's time for Love Line. It was also a radio show. On the radio, they would play Love Line. I remember staying up for that too. It was like usually around 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock at night. I know, I'm breaking a record. 2 hours. You know what? My battery is still holding up. I still have 3 dots left. So, take that, technology. Dave and Silent Bob, I think he's on my movie playlist. Last I checked, if you watch on my movie playlist in the description, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few really good movies, a lot of gems movies that were made over the years. I think it was in one of them was Jay and Silent Bob. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. Nung, 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 nung. That made me laugh. Yo, baby, you ever had... How did it go? It goes, yo, baby, you ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? He yelled it out, too. These chicks were walking by. Yo, baby, you ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Jay and Silent Bob were in quite a few of those movies, those Kevin Smith movies. Kevin Smith plays Silent Bob. And Jason Mewes plays Dave. Or Jay, yeah. Jay and Silent Bob. They were in like Mallrats. I guess Kevin Smith is a big Batman fan. He's always depicted Batman in some way. Mark Hamill, the guy who played Luke Skywalker, he does a lot of cartoon voices, and I think he does game voices also. I know Mark Hamill played the Joker a couple of times. He seems to be. I hear he's he's one of the better celebrities. Him and Dwayne Johnson and Chris Pratt. They were doing a list of all the nice celebrities, the nicest celebrities you'd meet. Britney Spears, I hear she made that list. Britney Spears. Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right? That was her first song, and it became a hit. I remember that also. That was very popular. Britney Spears, when she's playing Vegas now. Carrot Top is also playing the Luxor. I saw Carrot Top one time at the California State Fair. He did a concert there. Also, Vanessa Hutchins. I saw and the Village People. If anybody remembers the Village People, they had a song. Oh, cool. You have a nice day too. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for coming to Eddie's Funhouse. So I guess I've hit a record today. We've got like 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Let's see how much. Is there anybody still there? I see a 1 up there. So we'll see. Maybe this time next year I'll have more viewers. We'll just talk about this and that and this and that. Talk about Bryan Cranston. All the shows he's been in. All the comedy. I like when they do the tweets, the mean tweets. I think Jimmy Kimmel does that. He does the mean tweets. All the celebrities come on and they talk, or they do their mean tweets. Bryan Cranston had one of them too. Anyways, I guess I can wrap this up with my 4 likes. So I'll probably do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow I got to go get some blood work done. Oh joy. One of my least favorite things. I think I'd rather have somebody squirt me in the face with a water pistol for 15 minutes rather than get blood work done. Yeah, blood work. It's almost as bad as having your lighter run out of fluid when you're trying to roast marshmallows. So anyway, I guess this is it for now. Nung 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 nung. You have